Hello everyone and welcome back to the 3T Path channel. Welcome back to our Uddhava-gita course. So we're going through an amazing section here in the Uddhava-gita where Krishna gives these sutra-like definitions, 2, 3, 4 word definitions of very important aspects of spiritual life, of life in general, of course, self-realization, self-improvement, just these tiny little sutra definitions, and some of them are wildly different from what you would expect, and they just give you like a vision of the path you can take, just like beautiful, amazing section really, because we were just doing the yamas and niyamas, and now this section, and then we're going to continue. It's a very long paragraph of these sutra-like definitions. It's a very powerful, condensed teachings of Krishna in this section. Really wonderful. Now, of course, if you want to watch all the previous classes, all you have to do is become a member of this channel. And the instructions are here in the description of the video. And then you check out Uddhava-gita.com where you can see the whole course nicely organized. Okay, so we are here in the 11th canto, 19th chapter, still going now, finishing the block of verses 36 to 39, and then we're going to continue to the next block of verses. So at the very end of this block, we have the following. We're going to start with the following. Look at this. First thing, Krishna, we're going to go through here. Dharma istam dhanam nirnam. So, the true desirable wealth for human beings is Dharma. So what is the most valuable thing for a human? It's Dharma. And I can completely assure you that this is true. Once you have Dharma, you have everything laid out for you. Once you've managed to organize your mind so you can see Dharma, so you can live Dharma, so you can make your decisions based on Dharma, your priorities in life based on Dharma, and you can behave along the dharmic path. Once you do this, you can see your whole life just becomes wonderful. Everything starts falling into place. You stop creating havoc in your life and in the life of others. You attain peace, as Krishna said, as we just did the verse of this week, the video I posted just on a few days ago. So you attain the state of shanti, Krishna says, when you have Dharma. So what's more important, than having peace, having your life organized, everything set out, and with Dharma, even if you're not a spiritualist, even if you're completely into matter, you're just a total materialist, you want the path of Dharma, because it's with the path of Dharma that you attain all good fortune. Your karma is measured against your dharmic behavior. So as you follow the path of Dharma, you attain good merit. Good things come to you. If not immediately, they come to you a little later, and of course, certainly next life, you have a wonderful life. So Krishna says, in the past they would just focus on accumulating good karmic merit to even take birth in the heavenly kingdoms. So the materialists, the yogis, of course, understand that that's a waste of time. As Krishna says, there's no point taking birth in the heavenly kingdoms, in Swarga, because after you run out of your good karmic merit, you have to come down and take birth again on earth and start all over again. So we don't want that. We're following the path of yoga. So we definitely want to just do the path of Dharma. Not so much now because we're prioritizing pleasure. No. Because we want a good life. No. You do Dharma now because that is such a wonderful thing to offer Krishna. And that's what he's asking for. That's the Bhagavad Gita. That's what Krishna tells Arjuna. Just do your Dharma and make that as an offering unto me. It's like it doesn't matter. Situation is difficult. Like Arjuna's situation was so challenging on so many levels, right? It was just a very difficult situation. His highest abilities were required just to deal with that opposition of great warriors, outnumbering him. So just, that was a challenge. And of course, it was family. It was like a division of family. So that was a big challenge. So there was all these challenges. So fine, no matter what the challenges are, just do your dharma. Do your dharma and do that as an offering unto me. So we're happy doing our dharma, and we'll feel this blessing coming more and more, because it's such a nice, wonderful thing to offer Krishna. People sometimes get confused and they think that, spiritual life is about offerings like, a stick of incense or some flowers in the altar. That's nice too. I offer flowers every day in my altar and water. But that's not it. It's not about offering it. That's nice as well. Sure, you should do that as well. That's a practice. But the real spiritual practice, the real teaching that Krishna teaches in Bhagavad-gita is offer your life, your dharmic life to Krishna. Offer that. That is the most beautiful offering. That is the best thing you can offer. Krishna doesn't even talk too much about altars and offering. He does talk about offering flowers, but the point is, offer your life. Offer a beautiful dharmic life for Krishna. Can you imagine you're offering look, I was the best whatever, fill in the blank possible. Mother, father, daughter, employee, servant, member of the community, citizen, human, whatever category that you fit yourself into. Boss, worker, manager, engineer, whatever you are, fill in the blank. I was the best for Krishna. So you just do the best of you. Wonderful. So that is the true wealth. Wonderful. The true desirable wealth is dharma. Very important. Okay, next one. He says just 2 words. These are sutra, just 2 words. Yagya aham Bhagavatama. So Yagyaham, I am Yagya. And then he says Bhagavatama, the Lord. Actually, Bhagavatama, the dark Lord, in the sense that Krishna means black and means dark. He had a dark blue complexion. So I am Yagya. So what is Yagya? Yagya is a very important concept. Remember, he's going through here. He just mentioned the wealth, which is something everybody wants, and Yagya is a very important term in Vedic religiosity, in the Vedas. It's all about yagyas. The Veda Samhitas are all about yagyas, right? It's the whole, Rig Veda, Yajurveda, they're all about making yagyas. That was the basis of the popular religion of the Vedas. By popular religion of the Vedas, I'm distinguishing it from the path of yoga, which is what Krishna does as well. He talks about the Vedas and he talks about yoga. There's 2 different things. But the popular religion of the Vedas was worship of the nature gods, the demigods. And how was that done? Yagyas. It's all about yagyas. You do this yagya this way, and on this day, in this fashion, with these mantras, with this intonation, with this melody. That's what the Brahmanas were doing. Like, okay, do this, and he would just do all these different yagyas. Like, not too long ago, you didn't have temples with deities. That wasn't a thing. That actually came up, recently, 1500 years ago, is where you start getting more like temples and deities. But before that, it was all about just the yagyas. The whole communication, the whole religious act was done in temporary sacrificial altars. And we just see you set up with the bricks. There was all these rules of how to set up the sacrificial altar. But you would set it up, and you would do the yagya, and then then it's gone. So it's a hugely important thing. Yagya is very important. It's offering yourself. By the way, Krishna says in Bhagavad-gita that the best form of yagya is japa. So japa, mantra meditation, which is one of the 3 T's of the 3T path, is japa every day. You should do japa. I recommend to my students. I certainly do it for like about 2 hours a day. You should do japa, mantra meditation, and of course we do it with the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And you do mantra meditation. So Krishna says that's the best form of yajna, by the way. So here he's saying, I am yajna. So whatever you direct to Krishna, that is the supreme offering, that is the supreme yajna. And Krishna does say that, whatever you do that as an offering onto me. And I just followed him saying, the greatest wealth is dharma, and that's exactly what the Bhagavad-gita is saying. Do your dharma as an offering onto Krishna. So it's very clear, very wonderful, but very succinct, sutra-like style. Okay, so that's it. Now, one more, and this is the second to last one, second to last definition in this block. Now we're going to go on to another block with many definitions, so don't get sad. So in this block he says dakshina, jnana, sandesha. So jnana, knowledge, sandesha, message, transmission of a message. So dakshin, what is dakshin? Dakshin means that it's a payment, it's what you give to the teacher, guru dakshin. The idea was relationships should never be one way. They should be two ways, because it's two people, right? So there should always be two people. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna makes it very clear that we have a two-way relationship with him. So he says, do this and I'll do this. If you just let me into, worship me and I'll help you. Worship me and this will happen. Just two-way. Like if you ask for my help, then I can help you. So like there's a two-way, I can't just go and help you without you asking for it. Krishna respects our individuality and our choices. But there's always this two-way, look, do this and you get this. It's a two-way path. It's a two-way road of love. That's how love should be, right? It should be two ways. You can't have a relationship where it's just one way. And the same thing with the guru. The guru is giving you knowledge, so what's coming back? Guru dakshin. That's how it would work. So you would get instruction. Of course, you should honor that somehow. When you become a member of this channel, you're automatically doing your guru dakshin. Just get the knowledge, and that's how it should work. Because then it's like you're valuing the knowledge because you're literally like putting value to it. You shouldn't get something for free. You shouldn't get something that's so important for free, because it's like, is it not important for you? Is it, you'd pay for anything else, but wouldn't you pay for like the most important knowledge in the world and the most important help you can get in the world? So then you should have a two-way. You should do either in services or by following the mission of the guru, or by just guru dakshin, or all of the above. That's what I did. I did all of the above with my guru. I gave him money, personal service, and I followed his desire to spread the mission, to keep spreading the knowledge. That's the best thing you can do. Go for a triple max in that sense. Okay, so what he says is the real dakshin is a transmission of message. So what does that mean? Is that like the real dakshin as well is to receive the message. That's one way to interpret this. Receiving the message from the guru. That is a wonderful dakshin. And it's true, right? Just receive it. Really apply it to your life. Get that. Take that, because that's what the guru's working. That's why he's dedicating his or her life to, is to spread the knowledge. So if you can take the knowledge, that's a wonderful thing you can do for the guru, is to accept the knowledge. And of course then you can do the other things, spread the knowledge, help the guru, give guru dakshin, you can all this, but it's receiving the knowledge is also dakshin. So that's a very interesting one. And then the last one in this little paragraph is this. Krishna says, and the greatest strength is pranayam. So then he says, pranayam param bhalam. Just 3 words. Pranayam is the supreme, param, bhalam, strength. So in the material world, because prana isn't air. Sometimes we get a little confused, like, oh, prana is just breathing? Pranayam, is pranayam just control of my breathing? No. No, prana really means like energy. You have to think of like the Chinese equivalent qi, you know, like you have the qi flowing through your body. So it's more like that than oxygen and, you know, other gases coming in, you know, CO2, oxygen. No, it's more than just gases coming in and out, you know, through your respiratory system. Pranayam is energy. So of course, the manipulation of energy would be the supreme strength. So we don't have these abilities anymore. They've been lost. But, you know, so the manipulation of pranayama would allow you to have like supreme physical power. You can see stories like that in the Bhagavad Purana. Remember the story of little Dhruva Maharaj, who was only 5 years old. But he did such an intense pranayam, his pranayam was so powerful that he started affecting the very structure of the universe. And all the demigods became very scared, and Lord Vishnu had to appear before him and interrupt his pranayam before he destroyed the whole physical universe with his pranayam. That's how powerful his pranayam was. He was just there, 5 years old, standing in tree pose. And he wasn't even breathing, by the way, he was holding his breath. So this goes to show that pranayam isn't about respiratory control. He had stopped breathing already because he didn't need to breathe anymore, because he was just capturing energy. He wasn't eating or breathing or drinking because he could just capture energy. Because after all, we eat, breathe, and drink to get energy, to keep the body going. But you know, they would go beyond that and just capture energy, because there's energy everywhere. You know that, right? From physics, there's energy everywhere and everything, right? So you just capture that energy. So that is the supreme power, is pranayam. Okay, so that's the end of that block. Now let's read the purport. Lord Krishna here describes those qualities that are desirable for persons advancing in human life. Shama, or mental equilibrium, means to fix the intelligence in Lord Krishna. Mere peacefulness without Krishna consciousness is a dull and useless state of mind. Dhamma, or discipline, means first to control one's senses. If one wants to discipline one's children, disciples, or followers without controlling one's own senses, one becomes a mere laughingstock. Tolerance means to patiently endure unhappiness, such as that provoked by the insults or negligence of others. One must also sometimes accept material inconvenience to carry out the injunctions of the scriptures, and that unhappiness must also be patiently endured. If one is not tolerant of the insults and abuse of others, nor tolerant of the inconveniences that may arise from following authorized religious scriptures, it is simply foolishness for him to make a whimsical show of tolerating extreme heat, cold, pain, and so on, just to impress others. Concerning steadfastness, if one does not control the tongue and genitals, then any other steadfastness is useless. Real charity means to renounce all aggression toward others. If one gives money to charitable causes, but at the same time engages in exploitative business enterprises or abusive political tactics, one's charity is worth nothing at all. Austerity means to give up lust and sense gratification and to observe vows such as Ekadashi. It does not mean inventing whimsical methods of torturing the material body. Real heroism is to conquer one's lower nature. Certainly everyone likes to propagate his own fame as a brilliant person, but everyone is also subject to lust, anger, greed, and so forth. Therefore, if one can conquer these lower characteristics generated from the modes of passion and ignorance, rajas, and tamas. One is a greater hero than those who merely destroy their political opponents through intrigue and violence. One can develop equal vision by giving up jealousy and envy, by recognizing the existence of the soul within every material body. This attitude pleases the Supreme Lord, who then reveals himself, solidifying forever one's equal vision. Merely describing things that exist does not constitute the last word in the perception of reality. One must also see the true spiritual equality of all living entities and all situations. Truthfulness means that one should speak in a pleasing way so that there will be a beneficial effect. If one becomes attached to pointing out the fault of others in the name of truth, then such fault-finding will not be appreciated by saintly persons. The bona fide spiritual master speaks the truth in such a way that people can elevate themselves to the spiritual platform, and one should learn this art of truthfulness. If one is attached to material things, his body and mind are understood to be always polluted. Cleanliness, therefore, means to give up material attachment, not merely to frequently rinse one's skin with water. Real renunciation is giving up one's false sense of proprietorship over one's relatives and wife, and not just giving away material objects, while real wealth is to be dharmic. Sacrifice is the personality of Godhead himself, because the performer of sacrifice, to be successful, must absorb his consciousness in the personality of Godhead, and not in temporary material rewards that may accrue from the sacrifice. Real dharmic, real dakshin means that one should serve saintly persons who can enlighten one with spiritual knowledge. One may offer remuneration to the spiritual master who has enlightened him by distributing the same knowledge to others, thereby pleasing the acharya. Preaching work thus constitutes the highest form of dakshin. By performing the pranayam system of respiratory control, one can easily subdue the mind. And one who can in this way perfectly control the restless mind is the most powerful person. Very nice. Okay, now we have another big block of wonderful sutra-like definitions. So now we're doing verses 40 to 45. So it's a bigger block. Okay, here we go. We're going to be taking it slowly like before. Take several classes to go through this calmly. So Krishna starts like this. Actual opulence is my own nature as the personality of Godhead, through which I exhibit the 6 unlimited opulences. So this word opulence here is the word bhaga. So when we say Bhagavan, the Srimad Bhagavatam, the Bhagavat Purana, so all this you're hearing Uddhava-gita, it's all God, and that's the word bhag, which means opulence. The idea is God as the reservoir of all opulence, not just money opulence in the sense of all power. That's why here in the translation they extended the word bhag to say exhibit the 6 unlimited opulences. So you extend that a little bit, because we talk about beauty, wealth, fame, knowledge, strength, renunciation. This is a classic list of 6. When you're expanding the word bhag, okay, then you get these 6 terms. So it's this opulences in general. Of course, it doesn't have to stop at 6. It's everything. So God is the source of everything. that's good, that's attractive, that you want everything. He is the source of everything. So that's a word that we use. So Krishna says, real opulence is me. God is, that's why he's called Bhagavan. So Bhagavan, Van means full of, and Bhag, opulence. So God is called he who is full of all opulences, Bhagavan. Bhagavan. So that's how we say Bhagavan, Lord. It's a very interesting way to say Lord, to say God. Bhagavan, he who is complete with all power, with all opulences. So Krishna is. So Bhaga Aishvarya, divine Bhag, divine opulences. So Krishna is, his very nature is of divine opulence. Okay. The supreme gain in life is devotional service to me. So this is we got the title and the cover page here. So we have here, people want to know, what is the goal of life? What are we supposed to do? Like if you have half a brain, you've asked yourself, what's the goal of life? Some people can be so thick that they don't even consider, they're just focused on getting little things in front of them, little animals. You can be like an animal, oh, when's the next, meal coming from, and when can I have sex again, and where can I sleep tonight? And you can live like that, but that's really horrible for a human. But if you're using your human life properly, you're looking at the big picture. And so you're asking yourself, what is the meaning of life? What is the purpose of life? What is the meaning of life? And people ask themselves that question. Here Krishna gives a wonderful 4-word definition. So he says, Labha Mad Bhakti Uddhava. Just these 4 words. So Labha, the gain, the supreme thing you have to go for. Mad Bhakti, devotional service unto me. Uttama, supreme. This is the supreme thing you can get. So the supreme goal of life is bhakti to Krishna. And that, of course, is the supreme goal of life. Because once you have this connection, you're experiencing unlimited love, unlimited bliss. So what else can you want? You have love, you have bliss. You're just on your way out of all suffering as a side thing. Not even as the main thing, just as a side benefit. With bhakti, as a side benefit, you're destroying all your karma, you're freeing yourself from bondage, you're getting out of the ocean of suffering that is material world. Because Krishna says this is an ocean of hardship, of suffering. So you're getting away from the ocean of suffering that is the material world. You're ending the ocean of life and death. You're getting freed of death. You've died so many times. And the endless suffering of disease and old age. So death, disease, old age, and then rebirth. All these things are hellish. We try to, make him look nice. Sure, child is born, that's very nice. But actually it's horrible. The poor soul is struggling. That's why they're crying all the time. It's horrible. And they just went through 9 months of hell inside, somebody's womb, stuck in there. It's quite horrible, actually. It's not very nice. And then you have to grow up and you're peeing yourself. You don't know, you have to learn everything. You don't know how to walk. So that's actually not nice at all. It's suffering. And then you have a little bit in the middle there where teenage, early 20s. And then you start getting old. And getting old is not nice. Believe you me, it is not nice. I take super good care of my health, I really do so much exercise and good food, I'm very careful with everything. But still, old age is there, can't get away from it. Look, you start looking, worse and worse. I tell people, if you don't think you're good looking, just wait 10 years. Because you're going to look back and see your picture from 10 years ago and you say, oh, I looked so much better. So if you're not comfortable with the way you look now, just wait 10 years and you're going to be so happy with the way you look now. So old age and then death. So these things are just suffering. And Krishna's that's just a side thing. You're going to get rid of all that. And while you're getting rid of all that, you're experiencing increasing bliss of prema, of love. The highest state of the soul is to love. So you're getting love and you're getting joy because there's this blissful connection. This love gives you bliss. So ananda, so you're experiencing increasing levels of ananda, of bliss. This is the goal of life. What other goal? What other greater goal could there be? There is no greater goal. So this is it. So Krishna gets here the greatest, spiritual doubt. What is the meaning of life? What is the goal of life? In 4 words, just worship Krishna. Very good. So that is the meaning of life, and I think we can stop here for now. Hope you're enjoying this. There's lots more of these wonderful sutra-like definitions, so stay tuned. And have the rest of your day with lots of peace and lots of love. Hare Krishna.